Assalamu alaikum. Today I'm going to talk about a book, and the name of the book is Asif Nazrul's PhD Golpo. If I translate this title into English, then it will be The Story of PhD, and it's a biographical book. So, as a student of literature and language, I feel like that I have to read this book because I have this silent aspiration that I will be doing my PhD on my field. So, I had to study this book and I had to went through this book. So when I saw this, I bought it. Anyway, the prime purpose of reading this book was to know the experience of a PhD holder, how he has conducted his journey. So the things that I have learned from this book will be categorized into four sections. First of all, the cultural difference, starting with the food, because when I will, or probably the persons who will go from subcontinent to the European country, they will encounter that the foods or the cuisines of those countries are quite different from this part of the world, because we use spices and the spices creates a different taste in our tongue. But when we will be there, and from my presumption or my assumptions, and if I say these pre-ideas, I think that those countries do not use the spice, and the book support these statements. And when he went there in UK, in London, he saw, or he learned that the cuisine is quite different, and the living arrangement is quite different also. This is the second part, because when he went there, he saw the communication on that part of the world is quite different from this part of the world, because we live in a densely populated country, but in that part of the world is not densely populated. So there is this difference between the communication between the people, among the people. So the third part that I have learned from this book is the family dynamics, because when you are putting your time into your PhD journey, you are learning things, then you have to cut some times from the time that you will be, or you were supposed to give to your family. So it creates a tension, and sometimes it's not really easy to balance between your professional life and your personal life. So this is a quite different aspect that I have learned from his experience, and probably it will help me to balance my life, my personal and professional life. And the fourth part, and the most interesting and most intimate, or not the essential part, is the study of PhD, because sometimes what happens is there that we think that the researches that we are doing in this part of the world is so sophisticated and so good, but when we go there and go abroad, then we realize that the researches or the works that we have done in this country is not really worth it, or sometimes it's not up to the standard. So what happened here is that the PhD holder, or Asif Nazrul, when he went there, he learned many things, and from his experience, he shared that the first works that he has submitted to his professor, he learned that the things that he has learned in his country, or the works that he has done or he had done, was not up to the mark, and it was a really devastating experience for him. And what happened, he challenged himself and he made up his mind that he will be doing this work no matter what comes into his journey. So his dedication, his commitment was a successful thing, and he later published his paper, or his article on the river Ganges and the distribution of the water. So this is a really interesting thing to know, because as a learner, so from that experience, or from his experience, I will be implementing those learnings in my life. So I hope that whoever in Bengali language, or Bengali readers who will read this book, will get to know lots of things about him. So I will strongly suggest the people of Bangladesh, and if you can read Bangla, to read this book, Asif Nazrul's PhD Golpo. So thank you. If you love it, share it. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.